What will stop Donald Trump from trying to sabotage another election? A Senate that upholds the Constitution. The senators we elect in November will certify the presidential election results on January 6, 2025. If Kamala Harris becomes president, they'll also be key to advancing her agenda and confirming her nominees. If Democrats win the following 8 races, they can maintain their narrow control of the Senate. Let's break it down. In Ohio, Senator Sherrod Brown is a populist on the side of working people. He has a track record of standing up to big banks as chair of the Senate Banking Committee, cracking down on corporate landlords, and he supports codifying Roe v. Wade. He's also been a voice for railroad safety regulation after the East Palestine crash. Brown's opponent, Bernie Moreno, is a MAGA Republican and businessman who has faced over a dozen wage theft lawsuits. Moreno has supported a federal abortion ban. He's also parroted Trump's and Vance's racist lies about Haitian immigrants. In Montana, Senator Jon Tester wants to codify Roe and protect birth control and IVF access. And as one of the Senate's only working farmers, he wants to fight corporate monopolies in the meatpacking industry. Tester's opponent is another Trump-backed MAGA businessman named Tim Sheehy. He wants to ban abortion, has been caught on tape making racist comments, and despite running on his business prowess, resigned from his company after it reported a $77 million loss. In Wisconsin, Senator Tammy Baldwin is a progressive champion who supports reproductive freedom and authored legislation cracking down on big pharma price gouging. She previously made history as the first out LGBTQ senator. She's running against Eric Hovde, a Trump-endorsed millionaire banker who primarily resides in California. In Pennsylvania, Senator Bob Casey has been a leading critic of corporate price gouging and was an original sponsor of the PRO Act, which would strengthen union rights. He's running against another Trump-backed businessman named David McCormick, the former CEO of a major hedge fund. No wonder McCormick wants to make Trump's tax cuts for the rich permanent. In Nevada, Senator Jackie Rosen is running on raising the federal minimum wage, passing universal paid leave, and codifying Roe. Her opponent, Republican Sam Brown, has said his anti-abortion views are, quote, non-negotiable. He also supported Florida's radical Don't Say Gay bill and opposes common sense gun reform. In Arizona, current Congressman Ruben Gallego is a veteran running for the state's open Senate seat. He says he'd waive the Senate filibuster to codify Roe. He also supports common sense gun reforms, raising the minimum wage, as well as protecting and expanding voting rights. He's running against Kari Lake, a MAGA fanatic who tried to overturn the governor's race she lost in 2022. She's appeared at QAnon and white nationalist-tied events and has a history of violent rhetoric.
We are going to put on the armor of God. And maybe strap on a Glock on the side of us just in case.
In Maryland, Democrat Angela Alsobrooks has pledged to eliminate the filibuster entirely, to codify Roe. She supports expanding the child tax credit and passing universal paid family and medical leave. Alsobrooks is running against Republican former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan. Hogan claims to be a moderate, but was recruited to run by Mitch McConnell. And while governor, Hogan vetoed legislation expanding abortion rights. He also praised Trump's Supreme Court picks as, quote, incredible justices after they overturned Roe v. Wade. In Michigan, current Democratic Congresswoman Elisa Slotkin has called for reforming the filibuster to codify Roe, pass gun reforms, and protect access to IVF treatments. Her Republican opponent for the state's open seat is former Congressman Mike Rogers, another so-called moderate. Rogers celebrated the Dobbs decision, overturning Roe. He also co-sponsored bills that would have banned and criminalized abortions, restricted IVF access, and revoked FDA approval of mifepristone. Some moderate, huh? Winning those races could maintain the Senate's current 50-50 split, with the Democratic vice president as the tiebreaker, giving Democrats the majority. Now, there's also a chance that Democrats could win an outright majority by flipping at least one Senate seat now held by Republicans. Their best chance is in Texas. Democratic Congressman Colin Allred would vote to codify Roe and supports a national paid family leave program. He reached across the aisle to help pass the first meaningful federal gun reform in 30 years, following the Uvalde tragedy. He's also a former NFL linebacker who could finally tackle MAGA Republican fanatic Ted Cruz, leaving Cruz plenty of time to vacation in Cancun. And don't forget that Cruz read green eggs and ham on the Senate floor to filibuster the Affordable Care Act.
Do you like green eggs and ham?
And in Nebraska, independent candidate Dan Osborne is a union leader who helped organize a strike of 1,400 Kellogg's employees. Osborne wants to fight corporate consolidation in the food system, legalize cannabis, and he supports reproductive freedom. He has a chance to beat Republican Senator Deb Fischer, who is endorsed by Trump and voted against the right to birth control and the right to IVF. If you live in any of these states, your vote could make the difference. If you live elsewhere, you can still donate, volunteer, and share this video with friends in those states. Winning the White House is absolutely crucial, but it's just one part of the fight to push a people's agenda and save our democracy from Donald Trump and his MAGA agenda.